Have you been thinking that it's time to really market your business in a more effective manner? Keith has spent years testing tens of thousands of dollars on marketing and advertising, and he is just amazed that the 7 most powerful marketing strategies that he's ever found are surprisingly low cost and some are even free. He distilled down everything that he's learned into a 7-step guide and wants to give it to you for free. If you'd like to download the free guide, it's called 7 Steps to Marketing Your Business. Then simply go to keithkalfas.com/7steps. That's keithkalfas.com/7steps. And of course, the link will be in the show description.
Lawncare, dude, celebrity, superstar. Blake Albertson, good friend of mine, man. Check out his YouTube channel.
Dang, man, it's getting real over here.
But I was saying, dude, I just sent you this link to your phone. The top 20 Cristiano Ronaldo goals that shocked the world. And then his other video, 27 million views. Cristiano Ronaldo moments of magic. So this guy, he is the Michael Jordan. He's the Kobe Bryant of soccer. He is the Wayne Gretzky, he's one of the top soccer players in the world, and soccer is such a huge sport that he has probably 1 billion fans. And you started laughing because I said, in the documentaries where you see the poor kids in Ethiopia kicking around a tattered soccer ball, and that's not funny, that's serious. But this Cristiano guy knows that there's kids all over the world that look up to him. So when he's getting interviewed after a game, he's very conscious of everything he's saying, and I know there shouldn't be any idols like that before God, but he's very aware that I believe God put him in this position of leadership. With all that being said, so what I'm saying is he's a great guy, aside from being one of the best soccer players in the world. When you watch this video of him running down the field and passing all these guys, literally what he can do, his physical talent and bravado, this guy is like a true champion. He'll kick a soccer ball past 4 different dudes and then into the goal, like doing a jumping, spinning, flying cartwheel kick. The ball flies like 100 feet past all these guys and into the goalpost. The whole crowd is screaming. And the announcers with the headsets and, "Oh my God, Cristiano Ronaldo, Cristiano!" And he'll rip off his shirt and go, "Rah!" And the dude just ripped. But the look on his face is the look of a warrior, of a titan, of a man with a vision that is so compelling that no self-limiting beliefs, no limitations will stop him. And he's on fire, but it's spiritual. It is pure spirituality that is driving the physical realm from the spiritual. And you can see it on this man's face. And it's a very inspiring thing to watch. If you sit here and watch some of the top, go look at Kobe Bryant. Just look at a Kobe Bryant highlight video of him, and very sad what happened. But you can see it on his face, the face of a champion. How you feel and what's going on, your little petty life problems of how you kick the dog dish and you got water all over your socks in the morning and it went all over the wall. And you're all pissed off at 6 o'clock in the morning in a rush. And now you got anxiety and then back out of your driveway and almost run over a squirrel. And all the things that can happen to you. And we have funerals and deaths in the family and all this stuff going on that can bring you down, which is all very important. This is what it is to live and breathe and be in a human body, right? But the greatest champions and people of all time that set these limits, they break through these limits and they set these high standards of what's actually possible while living in this physical life. These are people that move into the realm of spirit. So gifts and callings come without repentance. That means that you have these gifts that were bestowed upon you, that were given to you before you were even born. You were born with these God-given talents that you have no matter not if you're close to God. It's that's why some people are highly gifted criminals. You got these white-collar criminals that do horrible things and let's just say on a low level even just rip off large sums of money off the backs of other people. And they're so incredibly gifted and talented. Like, that's why morality doesn't precede intelligence. What I'm saying is sometimes highly intelligent people are the most evil people. That's why you got them creating all these crazy ass drones that drop bombs on cities and they're killing people. And they're like, they're like evil scientists that are highly intelligent people. Why are they so bad? People with very high morals. So what I'm saying is very intelligent people aren't always good, but very, very good people are always highly intelligent. So very highly moral people are also very intelligent. So when you put this order and sequence together in the right order, right? Because you have this, I'm just going. You got 7 levels of truth. You got spiritual truth, physical truth, social truth, genetic truth. Oh my God, I'm now forgetting the levels of truth because I'm so focused on the spiritual, social, physical, and genetic. But you have all these different levels of truth. But when you can align them properly, like I'm not here to tell anybody what to believe. I'm just having these truths coming through me in my life. 2017, I went through this horrible depression and I was walking around this condo complex we lived in and I was like dying inside. When you're depressed, you are literally being ripped apart from the inside out and other people can't see it or feel it. But you're going through this thing where you are living and breathing constant anxiety. The smallest little thing can happen in your environment. And it sets off a little bomb inside of you. And now it takes days just to get over this suffering. Enough of those things go off, dude. You're in a downward spiral. Like, just like being alive hurts. What the hell is going on? And I would get so angry. People were like, well, you got to put God first and you got to put your family first and you got to put your wife first and you got to put all these things first and you come last, mother effer. You come last. I'm like, but if I come last, how am I going to get any sleep? How am I going to eat right? How am I going to do anything right? And then you just run yourself to the ground where you become this slave, where you're doing everything for everybody else, for your clients, for your customers, for your family, and you come last. And then it gets to the point where you actually feel guilty if you get a good night's sleep, if you sleep in. You feel guilty if you take time for yourself. Everything you do becomes a source of anxiety and suffering, and then you start hating yourself for it and beating yourself up. And then you get mad at yourself for even feeling that way. Now you're going meta. Now you hit these low vibrational levels where your every waking moment becomes this. It's like multiple layers. You're down in hell on earth. And I was like, how the hell do I get out of this? And then all of a sudden it hit me. Oh my God. It's because I've been putting God down there at level like 5, 6, 7 of the priority list. It's like a pyramid. It was flipped upside down. You have to put God first. I'm like, but it's impossible. It's impossible because then I'll be broke. What am I going to do? Go to church and help this and help the homeless and take care of my wife and do all these things. And then maybe 1 hour a day I can run my landscaping business. I'll be broke. There are rules and principalities of life. Dude, I'm not a preacher. I'm not well versed in this stuff, but I know without able to articulate it, when you put the spirit first, when you put God first, and then you put your family. Because you ever heard happy wife, happy life? That like, if you don't put your wife first, you'll know that something ain't right. Because your relationship to the feminine, your relationship to your closest relationships in your life is your relationship to your business. When shit ain't good at home, that's not good in your business. It's either soaking wet or bone dry. So it's like you go through this thing where the pendulum keeps rocking back and forth between heaven and hell and heaven and hell. Your life is amazing and your relationship is amazing. Your business is crushing it, but then the pendulum swings back and now it's hell at home. It's hell at work. And it's like, what is this thing that we keep going through? And I really think of that's the carnal relationship of living in a human body. And that's why we are half spirit and half human. And we're sandwiched between this mortal flesh spacesuit that we have to walk around in this density and experience all of this because this is how we evolve. We're evolving by experiencing all of this right now. But there's a way that you can circumvent a lot of the suffering and actually move up into the person that you dream of becoming, which is a champion. You want to be a champion. You have these goals and dreams inside of you that every morning when you wake, like Dr. Wayne Dyer said once, is that he wrote like 40 books. He was a best-selling author, spoke world, helped change the lives of millions of people. And he had passed on at the age of like 80. And he said something amazing. He said, your higher self, let's say a woman says, yeah, but I want to dance. Yeah, but you got to do these things and you got to take care of your kids and you got to pay your bill. But I want to dance. It keeps saying it over and over and over inside of you, no matter how many things you have going on in your life. And then you're at a funeral because a loved one passed away. And then next thing you know, you get sick and you're in bed, you're stressed. But I want to dance. Like you think in your head that if you're not going to be on Dancing with the Stars and be the best in the world at it, then why even try? It's no. If you want to do karate or yoga or you want to do jujitsu or take up boxing, go down to the local jujitsu studio, just stroll on in and go get a little $20 a week membership and just go once a week for 1 hour. Just try it. You don't have to be the best in the world. You have to. There's this thing inside of you that your higher self is calling you to do and be, because that's the real you speaking to you through your heart and through your spirit. And the more that you keep denying yourself of living the life that you truly know that you want to live and that you deserve to live, is the more suffering you will endure, and it'll get worse and worse and worse until you get physically ill and even experience a physical death, because you're not honoring what God has given you and these desires to be great. If you want to be an artist and you want to paint, you say you can't even afford the canvases, go to the thrift store. My buddy Dave used to do this. He would buy old paintings that were just ugly as shit. I'm like, what are you doing, Dave? This guy was my roommate, right? He goes, well, you're going to see, Falcus. He would go buy an old painting. He'd bring them in the house and then he'd paint over them white. And then he would get all his colors. He's like, now I got a frame and a canvas. And then he would paint, and he was in heaven painting. We had these ugly ass shitty paintings all over our condo. It was before I got married. I had roommates. Actually, they were pretty decent, but it made him happy. Like, I'm sorry, man. I'm fucking going insane.
Well, here's the cool thing about like nowadays is it, let's say you're really good at painting, but everything else just isn't working. Like you don't have the money for the canvas, any money. So you have to have another job, right? Well, like if you were really, really good and you were made to be a painter, just like you said, you could go to a thrift store, get whatever, repaint the whole thing, make a video about it on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram. And if you were really, really good, people would find that. Here's the thing that I'm learning, Keith, is like the money will come to you. And like when money's not coming to you, and that like angers people, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, how can you say that? Because I don't see how that would even be possible. But like, if you were a really good painter, you just loved it so much that you just recorded the videos, you just wanted to show off your work, the money would find a way to come to you. You could sell that art to people that were watching the videos and really loved it. Literally, this guy on TikTok, Natalie and I are like kind of Disney fans, you know what I mean? And this guy, like, he was like a big Disney World guy. He would go there and like make travel vlogs or whatever. And since they're with the whole Corona thing, he was making these 3D printed castles in his room, like with a 3D printer. And then he had a projector and he was doing like a fireworks show on the 3D printed thing. And then people were like, hey, we want these. So he opened up an Etsy shop. Literally, this was this week, dude. And he's selling them for like $100-something bucks. Like he's probably going to be able to quit his job all because he loved going to Disney World, loved making the videos at Disney World. Something terrible happened. He can't go to Disney World anymore. So he's in his room with a 3D printer and a projector, just trying to have fun and live what he loves. And now he will probably be able to do that as his job.
The money was banging.
That's the world we live in, dude.
He opened an Etsy shop. He put together the way in order to transact business in the commercial world. Because if you stay in the excitement and the inspiration, that's great. You have to bring that down into the physical world and create a website with a shopping cart, or create a business, or pass out flyers, or go open a bank account. So you have to let people know that you have something for sale. Hey, I got all this inspiration. I'm creating this thing. Now here's a way that I can receive money. Because the money is banging down your door. We're the ones stopping it from flowing in because of our self-limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
It's like staring at a box of cake mix and eggs and oil, and you got everything you need in front of you, and you're screaming and crying and throwing it. Oh, but there's no cake. There's no cake. And it's like, bro, you got to open up the cake, and there's a formula. You cook it and then you bake it. There's a curation process. And before you know, you have a cake, you put the frosting on. It might be a shitty cake at first, but once you get going, you can start baking and baking and baking and baking. Now you get an assembly line of cakes, and people are like, how are you doing this? I got a buddy named David Carroll. He goes, I'm not the first person who figured out how to create a 7-figure business, Keith. Like millions of people have done this throughout history, or hundreds of millions. Like I'm just doing the same thing. All the answers are right in front of us. If you stop watching stupid ass cat videos and you know how to dial in specifically to the information that you need right now to get you to the next step, there's a wealth and abundance of information and people. It doesn't matter what you're going through. It's all available to us right now. And our entire human conscious plane is ascending and evolving to this higher vibration right now. And because we're hitting this nexus point where Keith Kalfas has become a complete conspiracy theorist. No.
Keith, tell me this. This is something that's kind of weird. And let me know if this has happened to you or just does happen to you.
What up?
When something that I want to do in my life, like this is how I see it. Everything that I've ever learned about business, money, like about just business strategies from people that have incredible companies. After I'm done talking to them, I'm like, I know all of this, but you just don't do these things. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the majority of people know how to make a profitable lawn care company, but we don't follow the process that we already know.
You want to know why?
Sidetracked by, tell me why.
Because deep down in your heart, you probably don't really want to grow a fucking multi-million-dollar lawn care company.
That, or you just think that you can't. And so what I'm saying is, like, I feel like sometimes people deep down know exactly what to do. It's just like a diet. Like everybody knows how to lose weight. It's just like we don't want to give up the pizza or the cheeseburgers or the French fries. In business, it's like, well, we don't want just like the basic work truck. We want the leather seat. And then if you go that route, now you don't have enough money for advertising or for setting up a new crew. So now you're running 2 or 3 or 4 crews instead of just that one pickup truck with a nice. You know what I'm saying? It's like we know that we have choices, and each choice could either put us on the path to growing that business or not. And the shiny, cool things are normally the things that take us away from the path of success.
Well, I think that if you want to grow any type of service business and that's what you want to do and you love the process and it makes you happy, do it. You might find out that after you grow it, you're happier than you thought you would. What I'm saying is you might just want the things that come with that. You want the things that can provide you, which is quote unquote money and lifestyle, and finally get a beautiful home and a big shop and be able to go on vacations and do all those things.
Yeah.
And so it's simple. And I always look at it because I say, if you have to go to work 50, 60, 70 hours a week to be a business owner, the waking, living, breathing moments of your life, moment by moment, you're going to be in that business running that thing. And you're going to work anyways until you develop enough streams of passive income to where I guess you don't have to work, or you can do exactly what you want to do. And sometimes you got to spend years, 5, 10, 15, 20 years doing things that you don't necessarily want to do, to the point where you can do what you want to do, how you want to do it, with whom you want to do it, however, when you want to do it. Like that's the definition of success, is to be able to be free and do what you want to do when you want to do it. And so these are all stepping stones. And I think that if you can look at the bright side, there was a time when I hated my landscaping business so bad I wanted to quit and just get out of it. Then I started to be like, wait a second, this is just a perspective problem.
Yeah.
I have this little tiny, it's a debatable whether how risky it is because there's different risk factors involved. But I have this low risk little service business that I can learn how to properly manage my books, how to run a fully legitimate company, how to create systems and protocols and learn marketing and learn all this stuff and get all this massive, I'm getting multiple college degrees inside of the petri dish of this cool little service business that actually pays all my bills and puts groceries in the fridge, and I can drive a brand new truck and we can go on vacations. And I actually do make decent money enough to be like, it's not making me rich, but oh my God, I can learn. So I changed the paradigm and I turned my business from that, which is this horrible thing that I'm stuck and trapped doing that's consuming my life, to this great opportunity where, oh my God, my business is now a toy. It's a Jenga set. It's something that I can have fun with. And when you turn that around, that's when you can make leaps and bounds, because it becomes something you get to do versus something you have to do.
There's always like a point, I would say towards the end of spring, like as you're getting into the dead of summer, like you've hustled for so long, like those first couple months are just such a grind. and then things start to putter out, like your energy, the tires go bad and you got flat tires all the time. And there's always like a couple days or like a week where I'm just like, what in the world am I doing? Like, should I have just went to college and done the normal, just get a job for $60,000 a year and not worry about a thing? And then like, I always just put myself in the driver's seat waiting in traffic going downtown in like a little Honda or something. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do that. So find a way to fall in love with your business again, basically, because the daily thing is if Keith or me, you love this business, and like you just have to find that fire again. And that's how I get through it. But man, there are weeks where you're like, what in the world am I doing? Where you feel like, how long have you been doing this, Keith? How long have you had your business?
I don't know, 7 years since I was landscape, since I was in diapers.
Where you're like, man, yeah, dude, it's got to be longer than that, dude. Because like I was adding up mine. I think I've been like 8 or 9 years in business.
Wait a second. Yeah, dude.
It's 2021, bro.
Oh, I started the business in July of 2011.
Yeah,
So,
oh my
12,
gosh.
13, 14, 15, 16,
It's 10
17,
years.
18, 19. I'm a fucking loser.
Going on your 10th season.
Yeah, there's like days, dude, I've been doing this for 10 years. I don't even know what I'm doing, dude. There's always a week you lose money on a job, like it takes longer, it's twice as expensive as you thought it was going to be. And the tires pop, an employee calls, a window broke. Everything just seems to happen all at once. You just come home defeated and you're just like, what in the world am I doing, dude? And it's just in hindsight, a year later, you don't even remember those days. But that's the ups and downs of business, dude. And every single person that's an entrepreneur goes through that.
It's kind of cliche to say, but Stan Genetic, him and I are pretty close friends. And whenever we go to events, we always end up together. We end up in the same hotel room. We end up on the bus together. We're on the phone together. I asked Stan these deep questions about success, and this guy has been through everything, hell and high water. Dude, they had an excavator flip over on the freeway, and it could have caused a 20-car pileup, and luckily it didn't. He's been through nightmare situations that would make you panic and palm sweaty. And I said, how have you done all this? He sold and installed about $100 million worth of landscaping in his career. And he said, Keith, everything that I've been through, I somehow always got through all of it. And I always wake up the next morning, and he looked at his hands in front of me. He's like, I'm still here. I'm here. So at some point of all that collected knowledge in my brain has taught me that no matter what happens, I'm always going to make it, because I always do and I always have. So I know I always will. So I'm not really afraid anymore of anything that happens, and I expect it. And he's over it. He just knows that's the nature of the business. So if you spend your life trying to avoid risk and avoid fear and avoid feeling fearful and now you're dramatizing, you can become this neurotic person running around where you're afraid to do anything and you just stay in this little tiny painful comfort zone. So
that's crazy, dude. He has been through everything, man. He's a good person to look up to in this business. He
really is. I'm on this stuff, man. This thing I posted on Instagram stories last night and on YouTube stories. This tip lately is basically the person that you dream of becoming is who you really are right now. You are already that person. That's why it's inside of you. And that's why you're dreaming and thinking about it. And all the obstacles in the way are just little short-term temporary lessons right in front of you that are there so you can go work out those lessons, so you can go become that person and have it in your physical reality. And I'm not just talking about materialistic things. I'm talking about fulfillment. When you
I love that.
You already are who you dream of becoming. Einstein said that it's physics. The universe has no choice but to vibrate to match your intentions. So if you're depressed and thinking negative thoughts and beating yourself up and constantly kicking yourself and allowing every little thing that people say to eat you alive, here's another thing I realize: compartmentalization. So if you have a stressful moment in your household, and a lot of us are at home a lot right now because of COVID, you can develop this tension just in your own household where you need to get the hell out of the house. Can you be in a stressful situation in 1 second, and then in the very next moment be in your truck driving and then hop on a very important phone call that's going to sell a $10,000 project or so. Do something that's great connection. But in that very next moment, be totally happy, enthusiastic, and positive. Can you put things in boxes and not let them leak all over the place into everything else? Can you have a friend call you up and dump a bunch of negative trash and garbage on you of something that they're going through and be able to deal with them and coach them through that and then get off the phone and immediately crush it? Like, are you such a positive and resourceful and responsible person that negative energy doesn't pull you down? You are so positive that negative energy dissipates in front of you and you pull it up. You're pulling other people up. You're encouraging other people. You become such a positive, radiant, vibrant alpha that you change energy in the room. It doesn't change you. How long do you hold on to a negative mood? When something spins you the wrong way, does it last for hours and hours and days where you're cycling and creating stories in your head and being a victim and how I can't believe that this, blah, 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 oh my God, this means... Or can you take a breath and just within literally minutes shake that thing off and now you're back to positive vibration and you have a positive attitude? Because there's this thing that I'm learning, bro. Nobody cares about your suffering. And nobody cares. Dude, I've literally watched people that are in their 60s spend their whole lives crying and suffering and bitching and whining, complaining. And every time you fucking talk to them, they're just crying about how hard their life is and how hard they have it and how they just can't get it together. And they just have bad luck. And oh my God, and my fucking life's in all these fucking things. And oh my God. And then you're listening to these people and you're like, I hear everything you're going through and I love you, but I don't care. Because at some point, it's like, imagine somebody's laying on the ground crying, reaching up for you to help them. And you keep bending over, you're picking them up, you're climbing down in the hole, you're getting underneath their bottom and you're pushing them up and you're helping them. And now you're exhausted. Now you're stuck in the hole and you keep doing this. And then you finally help them. They get up. And then as soon as you let go of them, they fall back down on the ground and they start crying again and complaining. You're like, oh my God, it's like a stubborn mule. You keep picking them up and trying. And now your whole life is going by. And you're like, this person literally will not fucking do anything for themselves. They want everybody else to do everything for them. And they want to hold everybody else accountable and make it everybody else's fault and guilt trip and shame everybody else for their lack of even fucking trying. And now think about what parts of you is that going in? If there's a part of you that's playing now the victim or this learned behavior, it's this thing when you actually realize that not only does nobody care. I don't mean like nobody cares about your fucking problems. That's true. But what I mean is, no, nobody cares. So if it's true that nobody cares, see, if somebody from a victim mindset will hear what I'm saying and they'll think I'm being an asshole saying, well, you're saying that nobody cares. You're an asshole. No, I really actually mean that. Just nobody cares. So the sooner you realize that nobody cares is the sooner you'll be like, oh shit. Then you mean to tell me that any extra minutes that I waste feeling bad or beating myself up or being a victim or playing stories in my head around why this person's an asshole or treated me bad or she's crazy or any of these things, I'm just wasting my energy, feeling anxiety. It's a waste of energy. See, the ego believes that if you cry and bitch and complain, that all of a sudden some mom is going to come and put her breast in your mouth and go, here you go, baby. Everything's going to be okay. Let me talk you. What you going to do? And you go, oh my God. You're like, it's never going to happen, dude. You're a fucking grown man. Grow the fuck up. Put on your big boy pants and go fucking crush it. Nobody cares about your fucking problems. And you know what? If you do get rich, if you do have all the things you ever wanted, nobody cares. So if nobody cares and nobody cares, then what's going to happen is you are going to go out and build a fucking, a multiple 6-figure business. You're going to have a couple $100,000 in the bank. You're going to have brand new trucks and all these nice things. And then one day you're going to be sitting there with all this fancy shit and you're happy as fuck. And you're sitting there eating a steak hoagie standing on your porch with the sauce dripping down your arm. And it's a beautiful day. And you'd be like, this is actually pretty fucking awesome. Like what I'm saying is you're going to be like, oh my God, I have all these things now and still nobody cares. And probably the people that are victims are now going to be telling you that you got lucky. They're going to be telling you that you should give things to them. They're going to be purposely not taking responsibility and falling on their face, hoping that you're going to give them money. And now everybody wants money from you. Now you become money bags. And if you don't give everybody money and do things for people, you're a piece of shit. So it's like you can't win. You got billionaires, Jeff Bezos and Trump and Elon, all these people that are even billionaires that have become masterly successful. It's debatable on who you talk about. I'm not trying to get into politics here, but have created inventions that have changed the world and made people's lives better and all this technology. And you have all these whiners and complainers and victims on social media saying, no, I do think Amazon, you could argue that it's like a bad thing because it's like crushing and putting all these people out of business. It's relative. I'm not talking about good or bad or right or wrong. All I'm saying is that you always have a group of people that are hating on you no matter what you do. So the whole center of all this is what makes you truly happy, fulfilled in your life, and how can you get into that peaceful state in that place? Like this morning, I was stirring a cup of coffee and the sun shined in through the kitchen window by the sink right on my face while I was stirring the coffee. And I just took a second. I took a deep breath and I was like, it felt so beautiful and so peaceful and so vibrant. It was a magical moment. And it was just me by myself standing in my boxer shorts, stirring a cup of coffee. And then my wife looked at me and my boxer shorts are like too big for some reason. I need to buy smaller. And they're all sagging like an old man. So I walk around in the morning and nothing but, because it's my fucking house. I'll walk around in my underwear if I want. She's like, you look like an old man walking around with your boxer shorts. I fucking love these boxer shorts, bro. They're just...
And maybe that's why old men are just always walking around happy, dude. They take little moments like that and enjoy them.
Keith returns with more in just a moment. Hey, if you're looking for what is probably the greatest software ever to run your business on, go to getjobber.com/Keith. You can create proposals, invoices, collect payments, even track your entire business directly on the Jobber smartphone app. And if you want to get a totally free trial of Jobber right now, open your browser, type in getjobber.com/Keith. And if after the trial you decide you want to sign up with Keith's link, you'll automatically get 20% off your first 6 months. So what are you waiting for? Go to getjobber.com/Keith. The Untrapped podcast continues.
That's a good point, though, dude. Nobody cares. I was always caring what people thought of me in that moment. Like whether we're like filming a video out in public, I'm always worried, like, what do those people think? But nobody cares. Nobody cares if you're successful. Nobody cares if you're unsuccessful. So you might as well just follow your dreams. And most of us want to be successful. So you might as well just be that, because people aren't going to care about you anyway. In my course, dude, that's what I said, dude. People looking for your services, they don't care. When you pull up a website, the About Me is the very first thing. Let's say you're looking for a plumber. You go to their website and it's like about Rick, the plumber. And I don't really care about Rick, the plumber. I don't care when he started his business. I just have a problem that needs to be solved. And I know people don't look at it that way, but like, that's how it is. That's how the real world, it's busy. There's way too many people. There's way too many companies for people to invest their time and emotions into every single person and company. Does that make sense?
Huge sense.
And it's the fact, dude. So use that to your advantage, though. That's what we're getting at. It's not like a depressing, nobody cares about you. There is no magical ship coming. I think that's like a realization that this U.S. needs to know right now. But use it as motivation, dude. You can go out and do it, even with your marketing. Know that nobody cares, so change your marketing to where you're selling the solution to people's problems. I bet a lot of people don't think of marketing that way, but that's exactly what you're doing. It's not building a brand. They're going to invest more. But when you're just simply trying to get customers to call, because they can't be, because I know it's in my course, I feel like I'm promoting my course, but it's just the mindset that I'm on right now.
You know what you're saying. Go, flow. You're in the flow state.
But dude, use it to your advantage of you're solving people's problems. That's it. Oh, what I was saying is, if you never get a customer to call you, you can never get them to invest emotionally into your business. And it's hard to build a brand when nobody's even knows anything about you. They don't know about your quality work. Like the perfect customer only comes about when you solve their problem initially, take really, really good care of them. They fall in love with you and everything you believe in and your company and your company culture. And then that's how you bring them into your brand.
That's dope. He's playing the long game.
The long game, dude. That's what it's about, bro.
You're so smart, dude. I'm so
Like,
happy
we don't
for you,
want
and I'm
cut-
so
we
proud
don't-
of you, too. Like, I know this is a little off kilter, but I literally watch you grow. You were this kid on YouTube that people were saying,
He lives with his dad, and that's how he has Lawncare muscles. He has a drone.
and then, dude, you've like literally crushing it. Your business, your social media, your marketing business, your wife, and you have twins, and you have all this success going on, and you're still, how old are you? Like 19?
I'm 24.
24. When I
Thanks,
was your
dude.
age, dude, I was sleeping in someone's basement. I was a loser. You're so far advanced and ahead.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
You're so
We're
awesome.
trying to kill it, dude. We're trying to help other people kill it too, man.
God. Is it winter right now where you're at in KC Mo?
Heck yeah, dude. We got snow on the ground. It's 27 degrees, but not enough to do anything. Like, we mostly deal with ice. So there's a lot of salting opportunities for guys, but snow is not, it's not huge, dude. And I know up where you are in Michigan, Minnesota and all that, it's just a totally different world than it is here. If you just had a plow on your truck and that's what you relied on for income in the wintertime, if you don't do salting or whatever, it would be pretty rough around here, I think. I think we went like 3.5 years with maybe 3 snows
What?
throughout the 3 or 4 years. Isn't that
How
crazy?
many snow clients do you have?
We have a list of something really not impressive, 13 or something driveways. I only do residential. But like if we get a big snow event, and big to us is probably small to a lot of people, but if we get 5 to 8 inches, like my phone would be ringing like crazy just because people know that we do that. But a lot of my clients, they just honestly run over the snow with their trucks or whatever. Is tomorrow Friday? Yeah, I think tomorrow is going to be like 50 degrees, dude. So our little 1-inch snow that we got yesterday will be gone by the weekend. Gone, dude. I went up to SCAG headquarters a couple years ago in Milwaukee.
Yep.
I think I have never seen anything like it, dude. The piles in the parking lot were monstrous, dude. Crazy. They're like, dude, this will be here until April. They get hit all the time, dude. And there's nowhere to put the snow. Incredible, dude.
So
What's it like where you are?
right now we have a solid inch of cold, wet, frozen snow on the ground, and it's like 28 degrees, and we are in the middle of winter. So there's salting. I don't do snow anymore. I did snow for 15 years until I got so sick of it, I was done. So I stay out of it because I've done snow in the middle of Thanksgiving and missed Thanksgiving dinner with my family. I've missed Christmas presents and Christmas dinner with my family and things like that. So, but anyways, I also love doing snow too because I love how you can just dive into this level of personal development. You can have conversations with people. Like I've been on the phone for like an hour each with all these different, catch up with friends and family members and all these different people you can talk to on the phone while plowing snow where you never get to normally do stuff like that. I've listened to hundreds of audiobooks or at least dozens. I'm sorry. Entire self-development programs and drank endless cups of coffee and made yellow snow. I've smashed trucks and gotten whiplash and had to go to the chiropractor and broke shit. I've been out in the freezing cold. Snow blowing entire apartment complexes for 14 hours straight and then going back and doing it again for another 8 hours because it keeps snowing till my fingers and toes were freezing off listening to like 20 episodes of Joe Rogan podcast and Alex Jones to the point where I hadn't slept for 30 hours, bro. And I'm out here shoveling an apartment complex, looking up at the stars, thinking there's black triangles and aliens and shit coming to abduct me, and thinking that there's these little tiny scalar wave frequency alien chips that are 1.5 million years advanced from a completely different star system inside of like my knees and toes, that they're actually monitoring me and we're already completely chipped and we're these alien hybrid races of they're hybridizing us, and like then I see planes flying past and I think it's chemtrails And I'm like, dude, I need to get some sleep. I need some more coffee. I'm freaking out. I'm plowing snow. I'm listening to way too many conspiracy podcasts. Gosh. And I just thought about in 2008, I was sleeping with a loaded gun next to me, and I had a bunch of water and freeze-dried food, water and stuff. And then I got to the point where I became completely benevolent. I was like, I love the aliens, and I was wanting them to come abduct me. I wasted like 4 years of my life being complete nutcase conspiracy theorists, and nothing ever happened. I never saw any aliens. They never came and kicked in our doors and goes away. None of these horrifying things ever happened. So
I've never got into that. I love listening to conspiracy stuff, even though the alien thing I've never got into, but I really do. I want to know what's going on at Area 51, dude.
I'm well aware that I will go completely left field and start talking about crazy stuff, and I do it intentionally.
Yeah, we better in that before we go there.
Dude, there's literally these like private interviews that I've downloaded all the videos, and I think it's off of like YouTube now, but they're saying that they already have interstellar travel and off-world bases and slave races where they're trafficking humans to Mars, and they're already building Mars out right now. They've got thousands and colonies of slave people that are being born there and working like Stargate, and that the most advanced laptops today were already out in the 50s, and they have all this 52 races of aliens. But here's the thing. All of that stuff, I've never seen of all the chemtrails being sprayed in the sky. I never got sick. Of me going on Amazon and buying these scalar wave frequency EMF protector sheets and putting them behind the headboard of the wall of our bed because I'm afraid frequencies are coming through and cooking us while we're sleeping. Anyways, sorry, I'm sharing. How come I'm still healthy and I'm still happy? I never seen any aliens and none of this stuff ever happened. Here's what I learned for you conspiracy theorists listening. Anybody, because I learned, I've gotten good. I have just passed 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. When you know how to make a catchy title, a headline, and a catchy thumbnail, and you know how to make a video and get real amped up, and you could put together a bunch of pieces of evidence and create a case study, you can make videos. A lot of these conspiracy videos and things, I'm not saying this stuff isn't real. I'm sure some of it's real. It's rooted in some stuff that's real, for sure. But I don't know. I can't prove it. But anybody, these people are also getting their information from other people that are super amped up. And now they're believing it's real. So now they're making videos and pulling together pieces of evidence. And then they're saying, see, look, I made a video that it was the same exact video. All I did was change the voice of me talking over it. And I changed the music. And it was a completely different video I was watching. You can take something and make it look like funny and clowns and happy, or you can make it seem totally dramatic and terrifying. And people that are good at creating media and content and documentaries and interviews, they know how to spin things in a way to scare the living shit out of you. So you go, this is real. And they'll show you all the evidence and proof. But it's like faith is a belief in things unseen. And I do believe that some of that's real. But dude, I never seen an alien and I never seen any of this crazy stuff. And the reason I'm drilling so deep on this is because all you can control is what's right in front of you. How do you take care of your family? How do you run your business? How do you make sure all your bills are paid? How do you treat your employees right? How do you grow your business and take care of a clientele and market your business? How do you expand your circle of influence in your health so you can eat healthy and get good sleep and go to the gym and love people? Then you can live this beautiful, wholesome, holistic life. Yeah, that's what I want to see.
That's awesome.
I did a video once with Brian, and he's like, let's get together and do a video, dog. So we do this video, but I went so deep down the rabbit hole. He's like, yeah, I don't think I can post it. It never went live on his channel. I'm like, what about that video, bro? He's like, another week goes by. I'm like, hey, what about that video? He's like, well, you know, hey, well, I'm like,
I want my shout out, dude.
He's like, you went a little too deep down the rabbit hole, Kelfus.
That's so funny.
So we're not going to post that video. So I posted it on my channel. Because you even feel, since your podcast and your YouTube channel is revolving around small business and landscaping and lawn care, you got to keep circling back to that, right?
Yeah.
Because you're going to lose the audience.
Are we rolling, dog?
I'm not rolling. I'm pretty sober. Are you rolling?
No, are we recording?
Are you recording?
Were you recording that?
This whole thing is recorded.
That's what I'm saying, dog.
Are you recording, or did you? Every time I go down the rabbit hole, you just press pause and it goes.
I'm not recording right now, dude.
Special private service announcement. Bye.
I'm
LMN
letting
software.
you record this, dog.
You're not. Sorry.
No, I ain't recording this.
Oh, we never started recording it?
Uh-uh.
Oh, dude, now we got a whole podcast for me. All right, guys, that's Keith Kalfas with
what I'm
the
doing,
Untrapped
dog.
Podcast, dog. Don't you want to do a podcast on your show?
Yes.
Okay, well, that concludes our podcast. How can everybody find you, Blake?
What's up?
How can everybody find you, Blake?
YouTube, B&B Lawn Care. On Instagram, at BB Lawn Care KC.
That really sucks because I just talked like 70% of the time. Now everybody's going to be like, let him talk, Kalfish.
That's all right.
All right, peace. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening to the Untrapped Podcast. Please share this episode with somebody you think it will create value for. And we're quickly moving up the rankings in iTunes in the category of entrepreneurship. So if you could please just take a quick moment to click the link below or just go to the iTunes store and type in Untrapped Podcast. And please take a moment to leave us a well-written, positive 5-star review. It would mean so much, and it really, really helps the show. And as always, you can go to my website, keithkalfas.com, to learn more. Or you can go to my podcast page on keithkalfas.com/podcast. All right, I'll see you in the next episode.